Hello there, welcome to the penultimate Leicester of the 13th season. We'll be back in September with some more. I've got a very exciting guest coming over from America for the 24th of September. I'm particularly excited about one of my favourite comedic writers. I will reveal more nearer the time. Do go to leicestersquaretheatre.com if you want to buy tickets for the gigs in September, October and November. They're already selling quite well, and we've got some plans for big names, so it's worth booking ahead. I'm still just about on tour with O'Frig 50. You've got 3 more chances to see it. I'm in Aldershot on the 31st of May, Bedford on the 1st of June, and Warwick Arts Centre on the 3rd of June. That last one's nearly sold out. The others still have some availability. So come along if you dare. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks to everyone who came to the series. And yes, the Emergency Questions book is available to pre-order on Amazon. Hopefully be able to pre-order it on gofasterstripe.com pretty soon, if not now. It would be great if you did it there. Then Chris Evans, not that one, could get some money rather than Ian Amazon, who has plenty of money. But to be out in October, you've got plenty of time to get that. It's 1,001 questions. 300 of them will have been in the first 2 books. But the other 700 have not been published in book form before. So and there's lots of little extra bits and pieces as well that I think you'll enjoy. So that's very exciting. If you could spread the news about that and the new series, that would be awesome. Become a dripster, d.rip/Richard-Herring. Become a badger, gofasterstripe.com/badges. That will help us pay for Series 14, which we haven't yet got any money for. We may be doing a Kickstarter for that. As well, but thank you to all the badgers and the dripsters who managed to pay for Series 13. It's very good. So, yeah, let's sit back and enjoy. This is absolutely excellent podcast with charming and very talented young people, and I'm not annoyed about their podcast success at all. Look at my curtains. Those are my curtains. Have they got curtains like that? Probably if they want them. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Leicester Square Theatre. Please welcome a man who has a fantastic system for finding his way on and off stage. It's Richard Herring. Thank you very much. We have begun. Hello! Yo, yo. Welcome to the show. We're approaching the end of Series 13 of Richard Herring's Leicester Square Theatre podcast. I was talking... What? Very, very poor behaviour. It's jumped the shark, someone there. Not a very cool kid. You have to wait until I've said it. I was talking... I've got to the stage where I don't even know which one of these I've done before. There's so many. By Series 14, there's going to be a brand new opening to the show. I was talking to John from the original Tomorrow People. Do you remember him? You remember him, Dave? God, no one remembers him. He was also apparently in Beatles About. He was one of the actors in Beatles About, which I would have thought, who wouldn't recognise John from the Tomorrow People? As it turns out, all of you. He calls it Leicester anyway, so I know that's going to... Talking of the Tomorrow People, I was... last week, I woke up at about 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning regardless of my children waking up, partly due to my alcoholism. Yeah, good. Laugh and then, oh no, that's not funny. Good. It's all right, you're allowed to laugh. I was lying in bed and my throat made like a literal beeping sound, like a computer. It wasn't that... Beep, 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 but like a proper... from my throat, it went beep, beep, and I'm wondering if I am actually a robot. And how would you know if you were? Why did my throat make that sound? That's not possible, is it, David? Turn yourself on and off again. Could be. But that might be why I'm so obsessed with having sex with a robot, because I am a robot. It could be. How would you know? It's like in Westworld, they don't know they're robots, do they? Someone the woman I think is my wife might be paying money to come on vacation to get to sleep with me for 2 weeks, and and then I'm rebooted, and I think it's laughing as if that's
look at the quality of the man you're hanging around with, and then laugh at a woman wanting to pay to have sex with the robot version. If she is doing that, she's not making the most of the service at the moment. It would be an odd time to choose to come and be my partner when we have 2 young children. So I thought, this is a holiday. Now get up and look after the baby. Oh. But, you know, maybe in the future where I am actually in, no one has babies anymore, maybe. So that might be that. So that's why, isn't it? Because it's the Wild West to them now. If you think about that. And I've also written jam anger down here, and no idea what that means. So, jam anger. Oh, I know what it is. I had a dream. I'm just going to tell you about things that happened to me in this. You might think the beeping thing was a dream as well, but it was real. I had a dream this week where I was playing Just a Minute, Jam, and Tom Baker was playing, and I was coming to the end of my first ever whole minute of speaking, and I was really excited. And Tom Baker went like this. He was counting it down. He waited till 59.5 seconds, went beep like that, and buzzed in. And I had a fight with Tom Baker, and even in my dreams, I can't win quiz shows. That's how bad it is. And even in my dreams, I'm ridiculously petty, and I was arguing with Nicholas Parsons about the fact that Bella had gone first. And then I went to the producer's booth in the dream to make them replay the tape. And as I was doing that, the show was carrying on without me. So, that's how tragic my life is. So, all that's happened to me has been in... I've been on tour. I've had a lovely time in Reading and some other places. I can't remember where I was. It's all the same. So, when you're a robot, it's all the same day to day. So, let's get on with this week's podcast. I'm very excited to introduce it. It's the first time I've had 3 guests at once. Very exciting. Some people think I talk over the one guest. Imagine what it's going to be like for those people today. They're going to die. My 3 guests are probably best known as... one is the narrator of Crazy Beaches. One is best known as being the son of Rocky Flintstone. One is best known as being a 19th century shoe merchant who built James Cooper House. My Wikipedia research may not have been that great. He might not be there. That might not be the same one. We'll find out when he comes on. Will you please welcome the team? Behind my dad wrote a porno! Come in. And man, sit in whatever order. We didn't talk about order there, but that's good. That's good. There we go. Lovely.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us. My goodness.
Hello.
This is an honour.
Is it on?
I think. Hello. Can you hear me?
You got it. Do you have the microphone set up like this on my dad?
We don't. We have Britney mics, which James loves. You're the ones that go like right there.
Yeah.
Not to record the... Oh.
Hello.
On.
It's probably working. Is it working, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Fine.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We don't care about sound here because people complain about the sound of this podcast, but they're audio files, and I won't have them. I won't have that in my...
Very nice.
They're forbidden from being... They're forbidden. Welcome. My goodness. So let's talk first of all about you're actually probably best known for the work you did at the Leeds University television department, and that is what I want to talk to you about.
Always.
We knew it was
met.
you watching. We knew it.
What did you do at the Leeds University TV department?
Oh, what
To call
didn't we
it
do?
a department, I think, is to overstate it.
It was literally a cupboard under the stairs, opposite the pub, which is how we all found it. I don't think we would ever have found it otherwise. It wasn't our best work.
It was the student TV station at university, so no one was watching it because we
I think
couldn't.
there were quite a few LSTV fans in the house, actually, there. That was quite a strong reaction when you mentioned that.
It's kind of where we learned to like film and edit and things like that. But we were doing like entertainment shows about the week's news, and then we got interviews with like Lee Francis from Bo Selector.
From a great distance.
We were very excited. Yeah, just one question on a red carpet. It was really weird, and Jamie kind of filmed and edited stuff.
Yeah, really bad music videos that I thought was really arty and cool, which were awful.
But it was just because none of us studied it. We did it in our spare time, and it was just it's how we like bonded and what we spent a lot of our spare time doing. And it was kind of geeky in a great way, in the way that I think our podcast is pretty geeky.
And also, we still do it. I mean, who are we kidding? We still make shit stuff together all the time. Every weekend I'm there with my 5D. Come on, guys, let's make something.
And the first job that we got, we all started as interns together at a TV company, and they were like, "Oh, we just want you to make some like kind of short videos." It was like early social media. Bebo, any Bebo?
Oh, Bebo fans in the
you know. And so we were like, yeah, we can do that. We can make shit videos, sure.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing we can do. Sure, we can.
We should probably, the first project we ever did together, it was our first job in London. It was called A Message from Earth for Bebo. And we were sending a binary message.
Yes.
Stop me when I'm wrong.
Okay, it's digital, yeah.
Digital message. Into space to the nearest planet that might have life on it, which was called Gliese 581c. It's 20
Calm down,
light
everyone.
years
We
away.
get it. You love it.
We travelled to the Ukraine on like an official, like British delegation mission to send these things in Evpatoria through their space command centre.
Why didn't we make a podcast about this?
I know, or filmed any of it for like a
What did you send
documentary.
into space? Because they could create an intergalactic war.
Well, it was
It
the
hasn't
summer
arrived
of,
yet, so it still could.
Yeah. It was the summer of 2008, so it was all George Sampson and Cheryl Cole. So they will think that they are like the deities of Earth.
Yeah.
If we do start World War.
There was a disproportionate amount of images of George Sampson.
Yes, worrying because he just won BGT. You know that routine with him dancing in the rain.
Yeah, don't remember.
Huge
Yeah.
at the time.
People are going to come down. They come to me and go, "Where's George Sampson?" I don't know who you're talking about.
A lot of dick pics people tried to get in there as well, but we had to
The
filter out the
brief
dick
was
pics.
like a snapshot of Earth today,
Yeah.
a snapshot of that, and they took that quite literally and just took a snapshot of their dick.
Yeah, but that is more
That is
representative
actually
than
quite
George Sampson.
accurate, yeah.
It was their whole Earth at the time, clearly.
And so we had to go and meet celebrities and film them and ask them what they would send into space.
Okay.
Our favourite one is we went to Sir Patrick. What's his last name?
The late great Sir
Moore.
Patrick Moore's house. Yeah.
We went to Patrick Moore's house to ask him what he'd put into space. He came down on his Stennis stairlift, didn't he?
Yes, he did, yeah.
And his maid came to the door and she said, "Would you like Patrick in his white shirt or his Hawaiian shirt?" And we were like,
We just
"The
looked at each other. We were
Hawaiian."
like, Hawaiian.
So he came down in this huge Hawaiian shirt.
It wasn't a shirt. It was like a flowing, beautiful
caftan.
blouse. Yeah.
It was.
That must have been some Stanley stairlifter. He was a big man.
He was a big guy. He was huge.
I mean,
And
every
as
direction.
you can imagine, if you're a 14-year-old on Bebo and you're a big fan of George Sampson, you're also a huge fan of Sir Patrick Moore. So, yeah, on the Venn diagram, that's who's in the middle. Yeah, brilliant.
So that's kind of where we learned what to do, as far as making
or
content.
not to do, more
Yes.
accurately. Yeah.
And it was our first kind of working together and learning how to work together.
Yeah, and so my dad wrote a porno came about when your dad told you that he'd written an erotic
No,
just told you
he
a
didn't
novel?
tell me. He said that he was writing a novel
Right.
in the garden shed when he was retired, which I was fully supportive of, actually.
Yeah.
So I thought, what a great way to keep him out of my mum's hair.
And he'd never written anything. Had he ever written before?
He was a builder, so he'd written, numbers on like plywood in a pen and pencil.
Yeah.
But that was about it. But he didn't tell me what he was writing, so I just assumed it would be like a Bond rip-off or like a swashbuckling pirate kind of thing. And then he was like, "It's ready," because he's from Northern Ireland. And I was like, "Oh, great." And he was like, "So I'm going to email your first 3 chapters and just see what you think." And I was like, "Okay, cool, great, can't wait." So then opened it, and literally the first sentence is, "Belinda blinked. The job interviewer had just asked her to remove her jacket and silk blouse." And in that moment, my life changed forever. Because I knew that my dad had been writing pornography in the garden shed away from my mother. And he hadn't even told her. And so I was like, why is my dad sending me, his only son, his pornography? This is so weird.
You're the heir to the throne.
Well, clearly. And then I just immediately sent it to those two.
Yeah,
Took it to the pub.
We went to the pub, didn't we? And then Jamie read it. He was like, "Guys, I've got something to tell you." We were like, "Oh my God, he's gay."
If only.
Yeah, I wish.
Great. Hey, James.
Sorry. God,
I've never felt
knew
more
it.
like a third wheel.
And he was like, "My dad's written this erotic novel," and we were like, "You have to read it immediately."
Because it isn't even that he wrote an erotic novel or that it was a shit erotic novel or that, it was bad at sex. He can't spell. Like, the grammar's wrong. Like, it's on every level, it's awful. And then it was actually... I have Alice to blame for everything, actually.
Well, like Jamie says, he brought it to this dinner, and we took so long to read it. He had 3 chapters, and it's a short book. It's about 60 pages long. It's not. It's like we call it a sexy pamphlet. It's not a book. But it took us so long because James and I just kept interrupting, and Jamie was getting a bit agitated. He was like, "If you want me to get to the end, you're going to have to stop interrupting." We were like, "But that's no fun. So let's go in again." And I, because I'm selfish and self-aggrandizing, was like, "Can I have it and do a one-woman show?" And Jamie was like, "Yeah, sure. Like, I don't want it. It's a piece of shit.
Take
it off our hands." And then we were like, "No, we should because we'd done all these projects together and done all these videos and just fun stuff for us. We were like, oh, maybe it felt like it belonged in audio. It felt like it should be a podcast, and exciting stuff was happening in podcasting. And we were like, actually, this is really good. We should do this." So we gave it a go.
Yeah,
we convinced Jamie.
So they made me read my dad's pornography to the world, chapter by chapter.
Well, I mean, what's remarkable about it is it's difficult, isn't it, to do a parody of something. Like, if someone was trying to parody an erotic novel, you would never get any of the stuff that's in this. It's someone trying their best to create an erotic novel, and in doing so, creating comedy that you could never... I mean, like, that she works for Steele's Pots and Pans.
Yeah.
I mean, just that you've sat down to write a book and thought, where's she going to work? She's going to work for someone that makes pots and pans, but also that's going to be what they would call the...
I think what you're forgetting there, Richard, is that it's actually half erotic novel and half business manual.
That's true.
So he actually intended for you to learn a lot about entrepreneurship, and I feel like a lot of people have bought it for that very reason.
Yeah, we feel like there's been a lot of startups happening since the podcast started.
But I think that's the interesting thing about it, that it's real, and that it's deeply weird that it's your dad. So that's because you would think it might, because you've done 3 series and there's a 4th series on the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's written 6 books, has he, so far? Or?
Oh God, no, 8.
Yeah.
10.
Right.
Pick a number. I don't know how many now.
And so it's sort of endless. It's going to go on as long as he keeps writing.
Well, he'll keep on going until his last breath. Whether we'll be there to join him on that journey, I'm not quite sure yet.
That'd be quite a good. The podcast after his final chapter, when is a posthumous chapter, will be both funny and tragic as well. There'll be
I'll
you
be crying. Mainly because of the language in the book.
But maybe like the greats, he'll be more appreciated, like not in his lifetime.
That's
you
it.
know.
Mm.
Maybe
One
now
day.
we're laughing, and then after we'll be like, oh my God. In hundreds of years' time, people will be like, look. It'll be like Bebo. It'll be like the pictures of George Sampson. Gleaser 581c will love this.
He says that, though. He's always like, do you know what? You've all had your fun and games, but the thing is that when you're older, you'll get it. I'm like, I don't think we will, Dad. Like, we're in our 30s. What more is there to get? Although saying that, he's in his 60s and he clearly doesn't get anything, so who knows?
Yeah, we'll get to that. But it's sort of interesting. I mean, I think it probably hits this exact... I mean, it's the combination of podcasting being a thing, so that is the perfect vehicle for it, but also that there is this self-publishing... 20 years ago, that no one... someone might have written a book, I suppose, but it wouldn't, it would just be hidden away somewhere in an attic.
Yes.
But, like, you can publish... My mother-in-law's brother-in-law, this might be my podcast, has been staying... he's been staying at my mother-in-law's house for a month, and he's written a sci-fi and fantasy 80,000 words.
Whoa.
But he's never written anything before. I haven't seen any of it. It might be amazing. Well,
it might be, yeah.
But I thought I might do a podcast of my mother-in-law's brother-in-law's wrote a sci-fi fantasy crossover in a month. I mean, I've been trying to write a sitcom. I've been trying to write a sitcom and I've written 12 words in the last month. I sort of, as a professional writer...
I really want to know what the 12 words are now.
They're not good. They're probably just the characters' names, to be honest, which I know already. But, like, as a professional writer, it's sort of insulting that people think, I'll just have a crack at this. And then some of them are successful.
You say that.
Yeah.
However, we had Michael Sheen, the actor, come on the show, and he legitimately, and he meant this, compared my dad to Shakespeare. Because apparently Hamlet was written in this feverish rush of something that just inspired Will to put quill to paper.
Billy
And he's
Shakespeare.
like, Rocky, Shakespeare, they're just the same. obviously we found fault in that particular analysis, but maybe it's good to get it just out in one go.
Well, that's the amazing thing about being a new writer and being enthused. He's very enthusiastic, and I've not read any of this, so it could be, he could go away and become the new Game of Thrones. It could be him. So, but if it is, he recommends in the book that people come and see my stand-up because he came to see my show. I think that's in the acknowledgements. I don't think that's part of the...
It's the sci-fi element, clearly.
He's a very sweet man. But yeah, that's that enthusiasm just going for it. So it feels like having, what I've heard of your father's work, that it's not very planned.
No.
It feels like,
that seems fair.
I'm going to get to, and then I'm going to decide what this character's called.
We think sometimes he's called in for tea.
Yeah.
So he's writing something, you think he's kind of building up to something, and then Jamie's mum's like, Rocky's ready, and he's like, and she died. Okay, he just kind of has to wrap it up really quickly.
And there's no quality control. Like, he finishes a sentence and then hits print. There's no proofreading. Print and out. Done. But, there's something to be said for the fact that he did this in the first place.
Yeah.
He was a retired man. He had a dream, a weird dream, but a dream nonetheless. A nightmare for many people.
Clearly bored, I think.
The podcast is very affectionate, and it skirts the line of taking. I mean, obviously you're taking the piss, but there's obviously something enjoyable, and that's what I think it could easily get tired very quickly as a concept, but it's really not.
Thank you.
It could. It could.
We'll put that on the poster.
Richard Herring.
It
could get tired very quickly.
It could, but it doesn't. It doesn't
There's
entirely.
not enough room on the poster for that bit.
The jury's out.
Because, it's about your three personalities as well, and the three of you chatting and getting on.
Yeah.
But
it really is, because we always say, don't we, it isn't a show about porn or about, my dad's porn. I mean, it's more of a show about friendship, and the fact that these two guys were willing to go on this journey with me and help me through this really... what could have otherwise been quite a traumatic experience in my life. And they're just the two funniest people that I ever met. So I was like, right, if
But
we're
for
doing
anyone
this,
who hasn't heard it, it's also about porn, so do listen to it.
I couldn't have done it with anybody other than these two, for sure. Yeah.
Has any of it ever aroused you?
Wow.
No. Not yet. Maybe that's what he's gearing up for.
We quite fancied one of the characters.
Yeah, there's a guy called Peter Rouse who...
No.
No, Marco Rodriguez.
Oh, Marco Rodriguez, the Brazilian guy.
The Brazilian guy.
Okay. Just to give you a glimpse.
Yes.
So there is a character who gets his penis extended. He has a transplant in the Amazon.
The Amazon basin.
Sorry, the Amazon basin.
That's all right, go.
It turns out Marco Rodriguez, the character that we think is quite hot, was the operator, did this
surgeon,
surgery, but she meets him when she's crashed her car in the Cotswolds, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that just gives you a sense of what we're dealing with.
It was a botched job as well, and the member is flaking like pastry. It's just flaking away.
She gets a bit in her teeth.
She gets a little bit stuck in her teeth, and he paid the extra. This is no lie. He paid the extra supplementary charge so that he could come blue.
His semen is blue.
If you're going to have it done, get the bells and whistles, if you'll excuse the pun.
I think they show this as like a colour chart. What do you want your semen
Yeah,
be?
a little Pantone chart.
You'd go for taste, though, wouldn't you, rather than colour? I mean, you say, can I have it tasting of chocolate or
Do you
fruit?
think? Yeah. But then
Would you?
Yeah.
Would you? Did you say or fruit?
Or fruit, yeah. something to make it palatable.
I'd like guava. Do you do guava? No. Okay.
Something nice. If you eat a lot of fruit, it affects that. I know quite a lot about the
Sure.
male genitals, which for some reason I know a lot about male genitals. And your father doesn't seem to know much about female genitalia, given that you've got three sisters.
Three sisters.
So he's
Yeah,
got 4
you'd
children.
think that he'd be well versed by now.
I don't know, but it's weird, isn't it? It's nice that Alice is there. It's like sometimes
Yeah.
you have to go over to Alice just to check what a vagina is like.
Can you grab a cervix out? No, you can't. Good, cool. Carry on.
Because there's vaginal lids.
There
So
are
I
some
don't know if
lids,
that's a
yeah.
misprint or...
I lived in hope that it was. He just got the P and the D mixed up, but no, lids do make a reappearance.
I think he thinks the ovaries are kind of in line with the cervix, doesn't he? It's like
Everything's linear, yeah, and just kind of one tower. Also, he described, I think this is a Farrow and Ball shade, but something, didn't he say labial pinkness? Yeah. Which is pretty repulsive. Although I do think I might paint my bathroom in labial pinkness. Yeah, he's very confused. He either thinks it's all in a line or all kind of jumbled up in a bag that kind of moves as you walk. So he kind of knows it's there, but it's like a movable feast. It's just sort of like sloshing about. So it's not fixed.
Yeah. There's a mysterious thing, though. So it's difficult. You know, you can understand.
Oh, yeah.
You don't, you know, it's like a Bigfoot or something, isn't it? You only see it.
Excuse me?
From certain angles. When you see it,
What
it's
have you been looking
fleeting.
at?
Certainly if you're having sex with a Bigfoot, it's like that.
Are you describing it as the Sasquatch?
I'm saying it's similar. In a Michael Sheen comparison.
I think you need to see the presentation I do on the female genitalia. You and Rocky, I'm going to sit you both down.
It's difficult. I've been around a lot of vaginas in my time, but I wouldn't like to write about. I wouldn't like to try and draw one.
No, I mean, well, this is it, and we do mock him because.
Well, it's funny you say that. Bring on the easel.
A really weird game of Pictionary, suddenly. Yeah, we give him a bit of a hard time.
Don't applaud it, it's not. Stop, please stop.
But it's been a phenomenally successful podcast. I mean, like, you're touring it, you do live shows.
Yeah,
and there's an element where there's a sort of Rocky horror show element where people come dressed as the characters.
God, yeah, the cosplay is out of control.
In fact, just around the corner from here, the Prince Charles Theatre, they do. We were all in love with the room.
Yes.
We loved the room when we first discovered that. In fact, at university when we first met, and there are elements a bit like that, where people interact. You're right. The cosplay is mad.
Two people came as vaginal lids to a show, didn't they?
Did.
Which was weird. Someone came as a clitoris. Some people have dressed as like concepts. So a pub. Someone came dressed as a pub, which is a location in the book.
Yeah.
What else?
The trellis, which is somebody at one point is handcuffed to a bit of garden wooden trellis. Somebody came as this massive bit of trellis, which was initially impressive, and then everybody next to them was just like, oh, so we're getting like jabbed in the side with bits of splintery wood. It was like, this is like an hour and a half show. You're going to really regret that.
Her friend was then handcuffed to her as the. I mean, it went all the way down the line, that costume. It was amazing.
Yeah, blue Peter.
There was a time when the blue semen thing happened, people would just run to the front of the stage and spray us with blue silly string.
Which got old quite quick.
Yeah. Like,
could be worse.
That's true.
Could taste like apple. Yeah, you're right.
So, and there's a drinking game associated with the...
Well, I have to drink to get through it. I'm finding it a little bit weird not having a drink with me right now. Just even talking about it needs alcohol. Which because we've just come back from the States, and we were a bit concerned whether they would partake in the drinking game or partake in kind of any of the more out there elements. But my God, they were insane.
Yeah.
Like, Seattle, we had to be, like, escorted out of the theatre. People were so mad, weren't we?
We were thrown out, is what he's trying to say. They booed us off.
Everyone gets pretty merry, don't they?
Involved.
We get people up on stage to recreate elements of the book to see if things can actually happen, which turns out they can't. Spoiler alert.
And are you doing new chapters when you do the live show, or are you doing favourite chapters?
No, we don't. Neither. So what we do is, because my dad was so excited at the start of this whole thing, and he would just write so much crap. As you can tell, because most of them ended up in the books. There was one chapter that even he deemed was too bad to include in any of the books.
Right.
I found that, and I now read it on stage. So it's a chapter that you'll never hear on the podcast. We kind of keep it purely for the live show, and it's all about Belinda takes her subordinates on like a team building away day. And it is just carnage.
There's one thing that team doesn't need is team building.
Exactly. And they are not bonded by the end of it, I'll tell you.
And it's amazing what you can pack into a day, I tell you what. Bloody hell.
But so you're playing America, you're playing the Royal Albert Hall in June.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, this is phenomenally successful for. Well, it's interesting that podcasts are getting this big. Obviously, they're heard all around the world, so you do. I don't think I could play Seattle. I'm going to try it. I'm going to see how I go. Given I can't really play Wolverhampton.
Well, it's
We'll
funny
see
you
how
say,
someone- see
it's
how
funny
it
you say that because we sort of worried in reverse because I feel like Americans find it a novelty that we're Brits talking about sex because they obviously think we're really prudish and they think of us as like Harry, Ron and Hermione reading porn. So we're doing a UK tour next. And I feel like that will be interesting because that's home turf there. That's like, okay, when your voices don't excite us. Just because you've got an accent, we don't think you're related to the royals. So when we do these dates in the UK, I'll be interested to see how the reaction is different, America versus UK. So
Yeah, because we did Australia a while ago as well, and they were. I mean, well, they're filth, as we all know.
Utter filth.
Aussies, I mean, they just didn't give a shit.
they were just kind of having conversations amongst themselves
Honestly,
about it, like
the most
mid-show.
unruly audiences we've ever had to encounter. So yeah, we're quite intrigued to see what home's going to be like.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. But it's sort of, that's, you know, it's so phenomenal that like a, you know, often TV breaks someone to they can tour to that extent. But for a podcast to break you is that you can tour within, I mean, you've been doing it like 3 or 4 years, something like that, or is it a bit longer than that?
This is our third year.
Yeah, third
I think,
year.
So, you know, that you can break to that extent. I mean, that's an amazing, powerful...
It is. It's crazy,
Yeah, yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost like as powerful as Bebo, really. So, yeah, we...
I should say Bebo died not long after that project.
I think we ended
Finished,
Bebo's
yeah, we
reign.
terminated
Yeah.
It was
Bebo.
sold for $1. Yeah, it's mad. And I think when we first started doing podcasts to now, as I'm sure you've seen, it's completely different, isn't it? It's like been...
Mine is not different. Mine is my podcast is the same.
But the world of podcasting, right?
It's right, Karen. I thought I'd get more for that, but then I'm talking about Richard's friend. Each episode is very different, Richard.
They're furious. They're like, yeah, you could innovate a bit more, actually. No, I mean the kind of the podcast landscape.
Yeah,
I
no,
guess
definitely.
it's like we listened to a lot of American ones when we first started making ours, but there seems to be so many good homegrown ones now.
Yeah, it's really
and
exciting.
it feels like quite a nice world to be in, where you know you've very kindly invited us on here, and people seem very up for collaborating on stuff, and
Yeah,
that's
It's
really
a nice
nice.
community feel to it.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and coming from the world of comedy, that isn't always the case.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I think it's exciting to be able to do whatever you want to do. You know,
Yeah.
to have an idea and run with it. And you might have taken this to a production company and they would have gone, yeah.
I mean,
will anyone like
definitely.
it? But you know,
They
so
would have said no.
But you know, that's it. But it's an idea that you could just go, well, this is a
Yeah.
great idea, and then you own the idea, and then you know, and no one's changing it.
Yeah, and you can do whatever you want,
yeah.
and do it at your own pace and say, you
Yeah.
know, because I need a good run-up to do another series,
Yeah.
just as, you know, it is my dad's pornography, so I'm hesitant to jump back into it immediately, because everyone's like, where's season 4? I'm like, give me a minute. I have like a whole kind of counselling regime to go through before I can get back into it. So, yeah, and we have all of that control, which is great.
And we've been really lucky, like, you know, we'll work in TV and radio and stuff, so we've all brought different skills to the table. So I think it's all just fallen into place nicely. This book came into our lives, and yeah, it's felt like a natural fit. And we'll only ever do it for as long as we think it's right to do. Like you say, there's 10 books.
Yeah.
We're on 3, but after each one, we're like, should we? Jamie's mainly like, should we stop now? We had our fun. Should we move on?
I think if we're on book 96, we're like, something's gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
And what are your dad's book sales like as a result of your podcast? Has it gone through the roof? His Amazon sales?
Oh, his ebooks.
Yeah.
He sold like 3 or 4, hasn't he?
I think he sold his 7th, actually.
Oh, wonderful.
at Leicester, yeah.
Right.
No, he middling to poor, I'd say. You know, not in any way kind of embarrassing.
Well, we
but
wrote a
not-
book
I know
about
you
his
did.
book.
You've done your own book of the book.
Yeah, that did well.
Do you pay him some of the money from that?
Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. He gets some of the money for all of it. Of course he does. Can you imagine, Dad? Just
Keep working.
go in that garden shed now. Just keep writing.
Yeah, it's funny
I like
how
the
he takes
idea
the
of-
joke so well.
Yeah,
And
well, you know, there is a similarity with The Room, and obviously Tommy Wiseau has become like properly bona fide. He's successful off the back of The Room,
Yeah.
and is doing other films, and you know, is
Yeah.
presumably making millions of dollars. So I wondered if the
But
same
he
thing.
took a different route, didn't he? Because when people started enjoying / mocking The Room, he was like, guys, it was always supposed to be a comedy. Whereas your dad's like, I still don't really get why people are laughing, but cool, it's cool.
But he's like, whatever gets those Benjamins in, I don't care. Yeah, because he's the sort of man that it's impossible to offend him in any way. He's just such
We've
a
tried
wind-up
so
nerd. 'Cause
hard.
I mean, we're really going for it now. yeah, he's just great. He's just oblivious to it all. It's great. He's just got, yeah, whatever. Joke's on you. Got a new car. Yeah, just bought a new car. Like, great, good for you. That he's called Belinda, obviously.
Has he?
Yes.
Personalised number plate?
It's a really, it's a really bright turquoise convertible. It's so embarrassing. He like bobs around town and he's so proud. I mean, bless him.
There's a line in the book, her tits hung freely like pomegranates. And he's now, he's got wallpaper with pomegranates on throughout the hall of the house.
But my mum doesn't listen to the show, so didn't know what that meant for a good 6 months. And she was like, what a lovely wall. You've never taken an interest in the interior design of the house. What a lovely pattern. And then it took me coming home to be like, Mum, you do know what he's put in the hall.
There's a bag load of tit down your hallway.
Yeah, that was an uncomfortable Christmas.
Well, there are some there are some lovely allusions and imagery in the nipples like 3-inch rivets that held the hull of the fateful ship, the Titanic. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird to choose rivets from a ship that fell apart. If they're going to compare nipples to rivets.
Yeah.
And also, when you're trying to be sexy, to allude to one of the most famous disasters and tragedies that we have in our consciousness.
It's just exciting. Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's like, I'll just cry while I do it. Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah.
And you've got George, our incompetent sound man who you met backstage, was impressed that you had lots of celebrity fans, and he was saying, "Where's your celebrity fans?" And I said, "John Ronson came to see the show the other week, so think on." But you've had lots of celebrity fans, and then they've appeared in the podcast, on the Footnote podcast.
Yeah, they asked us to be on the show because the first one was Elijah Wood, and he kind of tweeted about the show. And then we said, do you want to come on the show? Thinking that he'd be like, obviously not, it's pornography. And then when he said yes, suddenly our DMs were dripping
all
with
the pervs
people.
came out from under the rock.
Like, Daisy Ridley, she was like, I've just wrapped Star Wars, can I come on the show? We're like, sure, great. It's been nice, hasn't it? To kind of have them asked to come on as opposed to us kind of stalking them.
And they just no agents involved, no PRs or anything like that. They just pop round with a bottle of wine, they stay for a couple of hours, have a drink, we record. And it's really nice. It's really weird. Daisy Ridley came round and was like, nobody knows I'm here. She hadn't told her agent. She hadn't told Disney.
It's like she wants to be murdered. It's like she wants to be murdered by psychos. No one knows I'm here. If you're thinking of kidnapping me, this would be an excellent time to do it. I'm just saying.
This is your window. When's it going to come up again?
I'm amazed Rey was in The Last Jedi, to be honest. Get rid of her. No, that's great. And they just add a really nice kind of flavour to the show because they kind of give an external perspective on all of this kind of crazy stuff because we're so in it and we read it all the time that it's nice to have someone else be like, are you okay? Or what the hell? Like, your dad is mental. Because
they mainly love Rocky, don't they? They mainly come on to ask questions about Rocky.
Yeah.
It's an interrogation about Jamie's dad, really.
Yeah, we gave Nicholas Holt came on the show, and he asked for a signed Rocky mug, which we gave him. His face.
Had to cost.
Oh my God. And then we went out for drinks afterwards, and every single bar we went to, he decanted his drink into the Rocky mug and would only drink from the Rocky mug. Yeah,
Michael Sheen's met Rocky now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
They're best friends.
Are they?
No. But Dad thinks that they're best friends, which is quite sweet. But yeah, no, they are lovely.
Michael Sheen's given up acting. Is it partly because of this?
He didn't get the role he wanted.
Yeah.
And is the film a genuine thing, or is the film a thing that you're talking about?
When we were in America, we had meetings in LA about... The thing is with this, it could be so many things. I mean, the obvious thing is making the Belinda Blinked movie.
Yeah.
Because we have our cast. Everyone who's been on the footnotes has said they will play a role.
They're verbally locked in, so...
We still don't have our Belinda. We're still figuring out who will be Belinda. But yeah, we're talking, obviously... There's interest in a screen version, so we're just figuring out what that would be.
Obviously. Obviously, I mean, it just writes itself, doesn't it?
Pornhub are very interested.
They actually are. They asked us to make it into a real porno. Which was a weird conversation.
Yeah,
they
wanted to make a scene.
Was it Pornhub?
It was one of them, yeah.
Oh, I don't know my hubs. I don't know my
Yes,
Pornhub.
you do.
That's a good one, isn't it?
That's the legit
Pornhub's my There's too
It's
much.
your homepage.
If you talk to Pornhub again, there's too much
Firework.
people having sex with their siblings. I'm not interested in that.
What? I think that's probably because of your cookies.
No, it isn't. It just keeps coming up.
Right.
The front page is all, I fuck my step siblings, but I'm not interested. I'd make it work, but it's not interesting to me. I have to imagine it's two actors pretending to be something.
Right.
And then, which it is.
I was going to say,
Hopefully
it's not
it
pretending,
is.
yeah.
Occasionally there are twins, though, and that
Oh,
freaks you out.
right.
Yeah, that's all right, though.
So there's a pots and
That's the
pans
exception
version
that
bringing
proves
its way to you, so...
We'll get the message to
But
them.
thank you, if you could. But they're very good.
They try their best, don't they? They do.
It's very sane,
Professionals.
very sane. There's a lot of just people having sex with each other, and it's a bit samey.
Isn't
it? So I'd like them to do a bit more. I like the story.
Do you watch the storylines?
I don't really like the sex as much as just people having sex.
That's what I used to say to my mum about Power Rangers. I was like, I'm not watching it for the fighting, I'm watching it for the story, because she didn't want us to watch it. And I was like, if I switch over during the fight scenes, can I still watch it? She was like, I mean, if you insist, but I don't think it's particularly compelling. So I feel like it's the same thing
That
with
is
you.
the same, yeah.
Yeah, there's a good Power Rangers one.
I bet there is.
So, yeah,
That green one was a right sore spot, I tell you what.
Well, if you did it as a film, would you make the sex? You'd have to make the sex scenes kind of like they are when you're on stage, so that they don't work, wouldn't you? You'd have to.
Well, I wonder if we'd get
awkward.
Rocky to actually write the screenplay. He'd have him transfer it from book
Really?
Yeah,
to
would it be
screen.
disaster artist? Would it be like looking at... It's hard, isn't it? You wouldn't probably just make a film of Belinda Blinked.
Yeah.
Why
You
not?
don't-
We could get Tommy Wiseau to do it.
Oh, yeah.
To direct it.
Make the call.
Oh my God.
He's often just next door because he comes to the Prince
Yeah,
Charles
he
Day.
does.
So
With
just
a
hang around
sad-
outside there.
A sad-looking Greg Sestero next to him sometimes, who's a bit like, oh, God. But not now. I mean, he's written that lovely book, but...
He's done all right, hasn't he? He's done okay. They've done well. Well, I hope that happens. If there's any paedophile postman turn up in the story, that's my speciality. As
Noted.
as an acting role.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen you on Silent Witness playing that role.
I'm trying to get into. So far, it's in none. Well, I was in one sitcom as a postman, but I wrote that, and he wasn't a paedophile. He fancied Julia Swallow. That's just normal. That's what a normal person would do. But I was trying to get to be a postman in every sitcom going.
That's great.
Every
But,
sitcom
yeah.
going.
Yeah. But no one's put me in one yet. So I'll go for a porn film parody
No.
or a porn film.
If it happens, you're in there.
Okay, great.
So
Don't wait by the
non-committal.
phone.
So, Alice, you're the one who has a career outside of this. These other two are a real job. These other two are lost.
We do have jobs.
No,
I don't.
no. All
literally
I
what I
could
do.
find out about you, you're a 19th century shoe merchant.
That's my job.
People need shoes, don't they?
I see you wearing some.
The people in the 19th century certainly do. You were one of the voices of Big... We worked on Big Brother's the show, TV show, but you're
Yeah.
one of the voices of Big Brother.
I was a few times, yeah.
Yeah.
They call it the voice of God. I mean, I think that's slightly overstating it, but yeah, where you buzz through to the house and go, can you put some pants on, please? Or like, you're in trouble, yeah.
Did you have to talk to them in the diary room, or was it just...
Yeah, a bit of that. I didn't do the lot. You know when they do the sort of like long chats when people need bawling their eyes out and stuff. I didn't do that because it takes quite a long time, doesn't it, to like win them round. So I just more did like, can you please unblock the sink? Thank you. Your mic's run out and your battery's packed. Yeah.
So
I just did the admin basically.
Yeah.
Someone's left the door open. They're like, oh, it's that really saddo one again. Who's like, you're letting all the heat out. Close the window. Yeah.
Do you have to say this is Big Brother before you say all of these? That
You
this
have
is
to
Big
go-
Brother speaking.
Have to go,
Unblock the toilet.
Hello, Richard. You have to do that.
Yeah.
Like be like a robot.
Cool.
Hello,
That's
Richard.
what I like.
How are you? Hello, paedophile postman. How are you?
That's not part of it. it's a different genre. And you work on... I used to have a show on Radio 1. You work on Radio 1. We're both DJs.
Yeah,
We worked on-
DJs, as my mum
we're
says.
DJs, yeah.
What did you say?
DJs.
DJs.
DJs. I think she thinks... Yeah, I think it's only when it's a verb. So she says... Are you going to DJ at it? I think she says DJ, but DJ is the verb.
DJ is quite good.
Yeah. When was your show? I did listen, but remind me when it was on.
It was. I don't think I'm not sure you were born. It was in. Genuinely, I think you just were born. It was in 1992. Probably was my show.
I was 6.
Yeah. Were you up at 10 o'clock at night listening to radio?
Yes.
Listening to the false Rod Hull on Radio 1. Might be 93, 94, might be something like that. So yeah, you might have been.
Are you looking to the front row to confirm?
Yeah, these guys will know. They're obsessed with me.
Blank face. She's shaking her head.
She doesn't like me at all, this lady. It's just, she was saying how someone wouldn't come back to have sex with me and if I was a robot. Very, very offended.
Was there some quite hardcore heckling before we
There
arrived?
was, yeah. Well, it was hardcore shaking of the head.
Oh, right.
Well, yeah.
That's worse.
It's worse. It's just that's worse than
I'm
someone
not
heckling.
even committing this to words. I'm just going to shake my head at you.
And I worked on MTV as well. I did MTV Hot in 1990.
Alice, you are looking at the future of your life right here.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is a day
This is where you'll be.
where there's a real age gap, and he's really
I presented Top of the Pops. I'm one of the.
I've never done that, you see.
No, I'm one of the non-paedophile so far. But,
Oh my
You only
God.
play
Top of the
paedophiles in
Pops.
fiction.
Yeah, I'm doing
That's
it.
it.
Wow, so we've done the same job
We have.
always,
Yeah.
but just a
20
short period
20 or
apart.
30 years.
45 years apart.
Up to the spot. And when we were on This Morning with Richard and Judy. We were guests on that when we were doing our show, Fist of Fun. And the Spice Girls were on the same episode, so we were very excited. And Scary Spice came in and went, "Oh my God, you're the guys from MTV Hot." We'd literally done it for 1 week. She rang her boyfriend. We had to sign a post-it note that she then stuck to her bare midriff.
Oh my God.
Wow.
It was very
The
exciting.
heady heights of this morning.
And Posh Spice was going, "Sorry, I don't know who you are. Sorry." We go, "It's okay.
We're
You're the
kind
Spice
of,
Girls."
we're sort of a big deal, but it's
We
okay.
stood in for a week on an obscure new show on MTV. The best day of my life. So I wish I could go back to that.
I was actually about to be like, what were Richard and Judy like?
Yeah,
Forgetting that you met the
again,
Spice
we met Richard and Judy and the Spice Girls. It might have been a dream that day, right? That sounds like my Tom Baker dream. Now I think about it. They were. Well, what was interesting when we went on once, because then we did a show called This Morning with Richard, Not Judy, and then they didn't like us because they thought we were lightly taking the piss, but only for a second. Talking about shoplifting and alcoholism. Only that was it. That was it.
Schofield wouldn't even raise an eyebrow at that nowadays.
But they were nice. But they said to us beforehand, they're going to ask you about things that kids can do in this, because we had a young one who said that kids can do for the summer holidays. It was the summer holidays. So come up with 3 jokes about that, or 3 funny things about that. And then, so I said, okay, we'll do that. And then Richard went, right, you guys are so funny. You could make a joke about anything. Make a joke about, and then he mentioned one of the things, and we hadn't written jokes. We'd written things that would work in the format. So he thought he'd prepared us. You guys could just ad-lib a joke about anything, and then the thing we had wasn't really like a joke.
Also, the greatest setup to doing a story is always, you guys do amazing jokes about everything. Do a joke.
And Judy watched, obviously didn't know who we were, watched one clip.
Well, she was probably
one
drunk.
clip of us. Yeah. On shoplifted booze. And she...
Allegedly.
Come and sue us. No, don't. Allegedly. That'd probably be good for us. I can get these guys involved. They've got some money now. They could bankroll me. What I was going to say? Oh, she said she watched a clip, which she obviously hadn't seen, and said, "It's just comedy about nothing, really, isn't it?" That was it. So we put that on our posters.
Yeah, I was gonna say, accurate.
So
Cutting,
damning
but
from
accurate.
Finnegan.
So it was a great day. It was a great day. Do you think it's possible that we are all robots and we don't know we're robots?
Oh.
I'm so glad you brought it up. I don't think so. Is that the right answer?
Well, I don't know, because you wouldn't know, would you? You've been programmed to think that
You're
you
so
wouldn't think
right.
so. So that's exactly what you would say if you were a robot. Because
You have no freedom of thought,
Oh
Alice.
my
You just
God.
assume
Because
it.
I woke up the other morning and my throat went beep, beep, beep.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did it?
Yes.
Did it?
I woke up just the right gut. I wasn't. It went right there where your
Where the
mechanics
panel
would be.
would be.
Where it would be.
Yeah.
Where logic
Beep,
would
beep,
say
beep.
it would be.
Like at 4:30, he wasn't expecting to be awake. It was just like rebooting or something. I Beep, beep, beep.
I love that you think we're really complex robots, but it still goes a beep, beep, beep when it resets. We must keep this secret, but unfortunately, when it resets of a morning, it has to go a beep, beep, beep. Let's hope they're always asleep when it happens.
Can't we program to be asleep? Yes, we can. Okay. But what if one day it goes, well, it could be the case.
You've really made me rethink that. Thank you.
If you three had to be in a human centipede together, who would go? Who would go where?
Do you mean for charity or something?
Comic relief.
Yeah. Comic relief. Sport relief. Oh my God.
They could do something where you had blue poo coming through.
Yeah, there you go.
It
We
tasted
would
of
make
chocolate.
a lot though. Can you imagine the number? It would be like, when they do like 0800 centipede or whatever. We would make a lot for charity.
Yeah.
For the kids.
We'd
It's
have
comic
to.
relief for the kids.
No, that's children in need.
Children in need. No,
do it
don't
for
do it
that
for
if you
children in need.
All telethons are open for consideration.
Sorry, I was just thinking about it the whole time they were talking. I was like, the front, for sure. I want to be at
you
the
don't
front.
want to go at the front, but how would
Well,
you
we're all
sort
going to want to
of-
go at the
I don't
front.
think with human centipedes it's a shotgun situation.
No, James like there's definitely one that I want.
Oh, so what?
Well, the person in the middle has it the worst.
Yeah, so Alice, you can do that.
To be fair, I do the least work on this project, so yeah, I should probably do that. You're at the end.
Yeah,
I think the person on the end has it pretty bad.
pretty, but yeah.
Well,
It's not
there's
good
no
for anyone.
great position,
Yeah.
is there?
Front's all right. You get to eat food and poo as normal.
If I was going to have my mouth on someone out of the two of you, it'd be you.
Oh, thanks. What?
Happy
That's-
Valentine's Day.
That's genuinely the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. So just to clarify,
Yeah.
if I'm in the middle, I'm not saying I will be yet.
Yeah.
Are your arms your own? Can I be doing like watercolours and stuff? Can I?
I mean, your arms are your own.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
you
it's just the
are
mouth.
slightly beholden to the
Location of
the
the
decision.
sentence.
Well, the decisions of the other two, because
Yeah.
obviously they
Yeah.
can.
But I could prepare food which would probably be less
That's true.
awful for me.
Yeah.
So if they were like, oh, we really want to have like this really rich dinner, I could be
Yeah.
like, I've actually prepared this much healthier option, and that might be slightly better for
I think
me.
it'd be quite hard to prepare food. There would be a certain amount of. You'd have to
I'm a very
mumble instructions.
yeah.
I don't know if you. I don't know how much. I've never seen the film.
No,
I'd have no interest in watching it.
Is there a cooking show that? Oh no, you mean the human centipede. Oh right.
So if they're there,
I said julienne the vegetables. Oh god. Oh god.
I don't know, or whether it, even might work as a kind of megaphone.
Oh yeah, straight through.
Yeah, straight
So we can still do the podcast. That's great. Brilliant.
I feel like we came to a conclusion quite easily on that
That
one.
it's almost
Everyone's
done.
quite happy with their location.
All right, I'll ask you some sex-based questions. I have a few.
Oh god.
What is the worst music you've ever had on whilst making love to someone, or that someone else has put on?
Oh.
Have you ever done it where
I've never
Not
done
a
it,
great
no.
start.
So
But you know when you've watched a DVD and then it's gone back to the menu screen, so it just
Oh my
loops
God.
on the same sort of like 15-second loop
Yeah.
of music.
What DVD?
Oh, I'm trying to think what DVD. I actually can't. It's happened numerous times. I actually can't think what DVD. But it's awful because you realise after a while, and then you're really distracted because it's like director's comment. You kind of have a glance at what the options are, and you're like, I would actually quite like to look at the deleted scenes. Amazing. I'd quite like to see that.
Commentary.
It's got Scorsese narrating your sex life for you.
I think anything super. It's difficult to concentrate. I think on sex as it is without
Yes.
anything
Yeah,
external
I would-
going.
I would-
So anything distracting.
Yeah.
And I
Puts
don't.
you
You
off.
know, yeah, well, it puts you off, and it does. Some people need distraction, don't they? Because it's too rapid for them, so they're trying to think of things. But it's
Oh, well,
that's
then
not,
stick on the
that's
DVD
not my
menu.
that's not my
Yeah.
problem.
I've sometimes
No.
heard music through the ceiling
Other
from upstairs,
people's.
and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
really distracting. Where you're like, God, that's dog shit. What they're playing.
wouldn't have
Like,
chosen
focus
it.
on the job. Focus on the
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
The Job.
The Job.
Alice.
I had someone like Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush
Oh.
song playing from next door once. You
Muffled.
reminded me of that. My genuine one, which I've mentioned a few times, is Enya Sail Away. I had to have sex to Enya Sail. It's really difficult.
It's a long
Yeah.
fade on that at the end.
There's just nothing. There's nothing to get hold of.
Where's Where's the tempo to match?
It's the one piece of music with no percussion in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Was it
drifting aimlessly?
Was it sad and very sensual?
It was not good. It was not. I mean, it's rarely good with me.
Although it's quite old, so it's probably like a 7-minute radio edit. It's probably quite long.
Yeah.
That's not my problem. I've explained that to you already. That's not, my problem, if anything, is the other direction.
Okay, all right.
So I don't need to be... I don't have a problem.
He claims the
You've
If
got
I had
a
a problem, it would be me making sex last too long. That's my... What would you say your worst quality as a lover is? I think just my sustainability is just incredible. Plus, I lose my erection quite regularly. Oh, that one's worse.
Sexual sustainability is a weird phrase. Are you an eco-lover?
You're a character in my dad's books at this point.
But when you're older, you'll understand.
Yeah.
That's the thing I understand. When I was 30, oh my goodness. But yeah, you got kids, and it's, life's terrible.
Were any of them conceived to Enya?
How do you know?
I hope not. If I conceived a kid to Enya, I've got a. It might be you, 28 years old. Is your mum an Australian called Sean? Used to work at Cheddar Caves.
And she's here tonight.
Oh, we might have seen her again. She was good. She was nice. Apart from the Enya.
Sounds like she had an awful time.
She was just trying to make it more difficult for me, that's all. Have you ever improvised a condom? From another of my sex.
Well, you're an eco-lover, so probably a banana skin or... what do you mean, with like a sandwich bag?
Yeah, well, some people have... someone has had sex with a crisp packet, I read. And I think that's what inspired
oh my God,
this.
you're joking.
Or a chocolate wrapper.
It couldn't
be
a kettle
foil,
chip. Couldn't be kettle chips, so it'd have to be like Walkers.
I think Get Crisps are just a danger for whoever's in the...
You're really...
Well, in the crisp side. I mean, I think the crisps are taken out.
Salt and
but
vinegar.
there's still some residue, isn't there?
But sharp edges, a crisp packet. That's not good for anyone.
Do you have to do that, when you get the last crumb?
So sorry about her.
It's good advice if you haven't got a condom. That is certainly true.
There you go. That's safer than the crisp packet.
What else could you use apart from a crisp packet?
Cling film.
film.
Like some kind of vegetable wrap, some kind of I would say the outside of a sweet corn. You can probably weave something out of that.
Come on. The crisp packet one though, I'm just picturing how depressing that is when you go. If you want it to be comfortable and like you say, eat the crisps first. So you scoff loads of crisps.
Yeah.
There's the crunchy crumbs left, so you neck those. Then do you rinse it out in the sink? Somebody's already totally put Enya
lick
on.
and dab. Just dab it in the
lick
corner and get it all out.
That's part of the foreplay, is licking.
Yeah.
Until your tongues touch. Quick, get an elastic band. Oh no, we've opened up we've done it too. We've pulled the crisp back flat.
Like you do in a pub to share.
We were sharing.
Oh no, we've done family style sharing.
We'll have to
now
get
we
you just end up eating so many crisps. Isn't bad.
I would say
thing,
the lock and the Ziploc bags, they're quite strong, aren't they, for a thrust? But I can't think of something that's biodegradable. Yeah. I wouldn't say corn on the cob. That's just fully settled on my brain. The husk of a corn on the cob.
That's quite rough as well.
Banana skin? Like a banana skin?
Yeah, banana skin might work.
That'd
you
be
could
nice.
hollow out a cucumber. That's something...
Yeah.
But are you going to whittle it once you've already started foreplay? Are you excuse me one second?
You prepare it, put it in the fridge.
And is it chilled? Yeah.
That was one of the... I did a book called Talking Cock and a show called Talking Cock and asked where have you put your penis for fun? And inside a hollowed out cucumber was one of the... But if you've got a cucumber and you're horny, you'd stick it up your ass. You're not going to hollow it out.
Is that a cracker joke? I feel like, do you remember when those yogurts were in tubes? What was it called? Fromage
Frou.
If you had a very long, thin, very...
that's very thin.
Very thin, then that would be perfect.
I make a joke about condoms being like vaginal frubes as well, so there you go. So,
do you? Oh, sorry, I've totally stolen that.
No, it's good.
Well, like a cheese string.
Oh, cheese string, that was good.
Similar.
They'd have to be so narrow.
Obviously, but I'm talking about,
Some people have very narrow
if you've got a
penises,
frube, cheese string.
Yeah, but cheese string's not as thin as a pepparami. That's very thin.
The pepparami's tiny.
Yeah. Very needle-like.
That would work for some people. Some people have pepperami-sized penises.
Yeah.
Some people have Coke cans. I know all about penis.
Pepperami?
Yes.
That long and that thin?
Yes.
Come on.
Are you insane? What porn are you watching?
I've heard tell. They don't put them in porn. That's the in porn films. They put all the same gargantuan film from beneath penises that make lesser men than me feel inadequate. For me, I'm thinking...
That looks familiar.
I film mine from beneath. That's how you just got to film yours from beneath. You're looking
That's the trick.
and have it on a screen.
Link it up.
Pretty
Right,
good.
Good to know.
Or shave your pubic hair. Then that looks bigger as well. So these are just
These tricks of the trade.
these are tips from my book.
These are wonderful.
What is...
And then stick them to your notebook, apparently.
If you had to have sex with a right-wing politician, which right-wing politician would you choose?
That's a good one.
We're out of the centipede now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it depends which one you choose. Some of them might put you with one.
Have you got one
maybe
in
like-
mind? Have you got one?
I tell you what, I think there was some...
Sarah Palin. She was
Oh,
hot.
she was quite sexy, wasn't she?
She was like an ex-beauty queen.
Yeah, and didn't
Then
she...
current fascist.
She had those nice specs, didn't she? She had a nice pair of
Yes.
specs. Oh, yeah, you've shotgunned a really good one
Yeah.
there.
You could have John Major.
Oh, yeah.
You like Edwina
He's
Cohen?
not right-wing anymore, not compared. He's comparatively centrist now.
Oh, so now I've just said I'll have sex with John Major.
I mean, you've got to go for Farage.
For no good reason.
Farage or the bloke from the...
Farage?
The bloke with the hot girlfriend from UKIP, Henry Bolton, you can have him.
Oh, God, do we have to pick...
Farage for the story, no? I fucked Farage. That's the headline, right?
Is there a sexy Trump? Is there one of the Trumps that's sexy? Well, Melania's a good-looking lady.
Is
But,
that-
But she isn't a politician.
No,
though.
she's
Ivana's a nice-looking young
but
woman.
you're right.
Ivanka.
They're just
Ivanka.
they're just
The daughter or the
hangers
daughter?
on, aren't they?
Ivanka.
Ivanka.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
She is also the
Ivanka.
devil incarnate. But,
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Jared Kushner's the nicest-looking, if you're into people who look like Damien from The Omen, who lives at 6'6". He lives at a bit. He owns a building which is 666.
Yeah.
6th Street, Hell Town.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think would be perfect for Alice?
Yes.
Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Yeah.
Oh, he's right up your street.
Now, I'm not saying no to that. Lovely, yeah.
Thin.
Ever so thin. He's like a pepperami. Yeah. I mean, definitely.
Top hat.
Oh, yeah. I think we'd have a lovely time. We just wouldn't do too much chit-chat because I think we'd have a little argument, wouldn't we? But, yeah, thank you. Thank you
No,
for
you're
that.
welcome.
Quite the gift. Thank
Yeah.
So
you.
who've you gone? You've gone Farage.
Farage, Mogg,
Palin.
Palin.
Why the three? Well.
I mean,
six
again, you're
of them.
stretching politician. But still.
Yeah. Yeah, she isn't a politician anymore. She's just
Back to soccer mom.
a pit bull
Good
with a
choice.
lipstick.
What is the strangest thing you've ever found in the embers of a bonfire?
Wow.
Actually, a hedgehog. It's not that strange, but it's sad.
Yeah.
A Barbie.
Was it completely dead, or was it,
It was-
partially
I
alive?
think it was dead.
Okay.
It was quite charred. But we were...
It was delicious.
It was crispy on the outside, gooey in the middle. No, we then were very good, very stringent with our hog checks.
I'm
Yes.
surprised it lasted. Like, it would have just thought it would just
Well,
burn up with everything else.
you hear it, so you search for it.
Oh no.
Was it Scream or?
Yeah, what did it sound like?
Good God, no! No, I can't remember.
Do you still remember
can't-
the scream?
But they do tell you. They used to tell you a lot on Blue Peter to check, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they
they
meant
did.
it.
They did.
They meant it, people. So we're actually not going into bonfire season now, but just be aware for when it comes around next.
God, that's.
Look at it. But you say hog checks. It makes sound like you're checking for any kind of hog. In there. If there's a hog in there and you miss that,
You
I
see
mean,
the
it'd be
wing
delicious.
We do a hog check and a mog check
Yeah.
because he hangs around waiting.
You will now.
I live in the countryside now, and they all basically just eat anything. So we went around to a farm so my daughter could see some lambs. We saw a lamb basically being born, which I talked about the other week. But they were talking about how if a deer gets run over, they can get it taken to the abattoir and skinned, and then they'll eat it.
Well,
That's what you do in the countryside.
Yeah,
You've got
I
to live by
guess.
your wits.
yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Somebody was saying the other day that their granddad used to shake his head and go, "Oh, such a waste," when they drive past roadkill,
Yeah.
and just be like, "It's a waste." But they were like going at such a speed that they were like, "I can't stop." But I just love the idea of being like, "No, that would have made a lovely hot pot."
Yeah.
But got
My
to keep
friend
going.
Phil, my friend Phil, we grew up in the countryside, he lives in Hammersmith now, but he's told he was around my house and told my wife and her friend about how he'd seen a rabbit run over and then gone and got the rabbit and skinned it and eaten it himself. I thought it was very impressive. The women were not as impressed by the story.
I once edited a documentary about a woman who would just follow roadkill around the country and
Yes.
make pot stickers out of them, like little dumplings.
She'd follow it. Surely it's very still.
Well, just follow various roads that she knew were rife.
good ones.
Yeah,
Right.
and she'd just like scrape it up, take it back to a little grotty caravan. She was a little bit odd. That
Yeah,
woman.
we did that
We
together,
worked
didn't
together,
we?
yeah.
It was a squirrel she did. She like skinned this squirrel and made little dumplings.
Looked delicious, I have to say.
You could put anything in a dumpling, really, and you'd eat it, couldn't you, really?
Yeah.
They're so good. I probably would have a squirrel dumpling.
You've probably eaten it before.
Anything with a dipping sauce.
You get extra nuts as well in the squirrel.
Hey.
You look so pleased.
I'm pleased about everything. I'm just pleased to be talking to a woman. I'm not a Phil Fry. Good. This is a good question. I don't think I've asked this before. What is the most humiliating thing you've ever done for chocolate? And this weekend has just been Easter weekend. I've given up chocolate, but last night my mother-in-law gave me a lint bunny, and I thought, well, I'll save that for when I'm eating chocolate again. Ate the whole thing in bed last night. Felt so sick.
Ears first.
Yeah, ears first.
Yeah.
And it's too thick. I'm feeling sick.
Yeah.
I think it might have put me off chocolate because that's my
Great,
theory.
that's good.
Well, I do that every now and again, then I just forget, and then I'm back.
It's when you take the little, the elasticated necklace with the bell on it. When you take that off, you're like, I'm just going to bosh this whole thing.
Yeah.
There's no wrapping this back up in the gold foil. I'm going ears and then it's gone. Yeah.
Well, I keep convincing myself that I can open any pack of chocolate and not eat the whole thing, and that has never happened. Even last night's thinking, I'll put that there and I'll have that later. I'll eat the ears and then I'll leave it. And then I was listening to a podcast, eating.
My sister puts a half-eaten bar of chocolate in the fridge.
Yeah, that's
Who the fuck does
crazy.
that?
Psychopaths.
Definitely not you and I.
No,
Jamie,
absolutely. No
I can't buy
way.
Nutella anymore because I do just eat it with a tablespoon.
Nutella?
And it's gone, yeah.
Jars of Nutella.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
easily 3 jars. I could bosh.
In a night.
I mean, I wouldn't go out and get another one, but if they were in the house, I would.
You'd stockpiled.
Yeah.
Can I move Alice's position in the human centipede? Actually, quite delicious.
Right, well, this has passed by so quickly. I'll ask you one more stupid question, and then I'll see if I've got any more serious questions for you, and then you can go. That's how it works.
I love doing an agenda at this point in the show. And then AOB, and then you can fuck off.
Unless you're very entertaining, in which case, I'll carry on. Unless you're Al Murray, in which case, no one's going home tonight. The people at home won't even know. What film or story would you like to see remade by the Muppets? I mean, this might be the answer for your film.
Yeah. Belinda, sure. Oh my God, could you imagine? Miss Piggy as Belinda.
It's what Jim Henson would have wanted.
It really is. Fozzie Bear.
Oh, God.
As Jim Sterling.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
You have to have to have one human being in it, and I'm not sure the Muppets. You might do it. I met the puppeteers behind the Furchester Hotel, which is a Sesame Street-based spin-off.
Oh, right.
And they're fucking nuts. They're great. They're nuts. The people who do the puppets would definitely be up for it.
I reckon so. Yeah.
I don't know the people who own the rights to the puppets might not be so up.
Is it always the same hand up each one? Like, are you Miss Piggy forever?
Yeah, they've changed over because a few of them...
Change hands?
They've changed, people doing them. The current Kermit, I think, I can do the Kermit voice better than him, and this is as good as I can do it. Hello, I'm Kermit. That's better than the current Kermit. No offence to him. He might not get him in the film now. I've ruined it.
I really want that to happen.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We'll sort
that might be
out.
the only way it will happen.
Yeah.
Do you have to have? Because who's in the Christmas card? Bill Murray. Who's in there? Oh, that's Scrooge.
No, you're thinking of
Michael Caine was in one,
Michael
but they
Caine.
Billy
Michael
Connolly.
Caine is-
Usually they have a few human
real
beings.
people.
I only
Yeah.
watched it like a year ago. I'd never
Yeah.
seen it. Oh my God, the gasp. You poor child. Yeah, I'd never seen it. And it's very
so
good.
good.
It's lovely, yeah.
It's very good.
Are there any rude puppets? Like there's Avenue Q, which was like a rude puppet musical.
Yeah.
Was there a rude movie with puppets in as well?
You've been on
No,
the
you
same
could do.
side.
You could do it with puppets. I think puppets might be the way forward.
I want Miss Piggy and Kermit. I don't just want any old puppet.
Are
Like,
they uncoupled? Are they consciously uncoupled, Miss Piggy and Kermit?
I think it depends on the film. I think they just
Okay, they
flip.
would come
they're on
back
off
together.
again.
I don't think it's been consummated. Although actually in Muppet Christmas Carol they have the boys are frogs and the
Yeah.
girls are pigs. That's how it works. That's how if a frog fucks a pig, that's how it works. So, well, look, we will. The tour looks very exciting, and the Albert Hall must be very exciting to be doing the Albert
We're
Hall.
very
I heard your
excited.
podcast about you've been to the Albert Hall to look round.
Yeah.
Yes.
And did a podcast from the Albert Hall.
We did. They let us in, so we
Yeah.
know that we can still get in.
Cirque du Soleil were on, so
Right.
they were in the middle of their run.
Yeah, they must have been annoyed you doing a podcast in the middle of it. Shut up!
We got all tangled in the wires. It was awful. But their set is it's pretty
Yeah.
posh.
We want to nick the set.
What set do you have for
It's
your
pretty
show?
much this.
We
Yeah.
don't
We
have
are
a set, so
Yeah.
we think for
You've
the
got to
Royal
get a
Albert.
set for the Royal Albert Hall.
We want to
do
get
something
like
a bit big.
Yeah.
What do you mean
Pomegranates.
get a set? We've
You
got to
need a
build
set.
one.
Yeah. Got to give people spectacle. You can't have 5,000 people watching you from royal boxes. You
Yeah.
can't just
Yeah,
sitting on some chairs like this. I'd be in the Albert Hall if it wasn't this. I just had 4 chairs.
We might buy the Cirque du Soleil on cheap and
Yeah.
then just spray it or something. It doesn't have to look different.
Or
it's
have
fine.
Rocky come down on wires.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That'd be cool.
No.
But yeah, we're thinking about like a band or something, aren't we? We're going to have like a live...
An orchestra.
A band.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah,
an
yeah,
orchestra.
we're thinking of doing that.
It's quite an active show, so it's not a live podcast. It is a show with
Yeah.
singing and not literally singing and dancing. Or maybe we'll have
Maybe
singing and
we could
dancing
add
for the
that.
Royal Albert Hall. Yeah.
And you're gonna film it in the Royal Albert Hall.
We'd like to.
Yeah.
James's mum will do it on her phone. We'll
It's
probably
coming
use that
quite
for
soon.
something.
You've got to make some decisions about what this show's going to be.
Thank you.
You can't just turn up and improvise the show just because you do that with your podcast very well. It's
Oh,
very
we can't. Oh,
So this is the first I've heard of it. Royal Albert Hall.
Are we doing it?
All right. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Sure. We'll do it.
Give it a crack.
No, we don't like to say too much because there are some like really nice surprises in
Yeah,
that.
sure.
And if you've never heard the podcast before, then it's still really good fun because this is like Jamie said, this kind of chapter that just sits on its own. Because with the books, you could really read the chapters in any order. You could go like 1, 6, 11, 2, because there's not really a narrative.
There's no plot
Nothing
at all.
happens. So,
So
you
yeah,
haven't
it's
missed anything if you just come to the live show.
it's pretty raucous. It's really good fun. And I think sometimes when people bring +1s, they sort of leave like, what the fuck was that? But that's quite a good way to leave the theatre, right? I feel like that's a
But
good
then
reaction.
Divergents are always fun to have in the audience because
Yeah.
they don't know what to expect, but they get completely rat-arsed. They're so worried that they might be called up on stage at any moment.
They're mainly like that woman at the front who just keeps shaking her head,
Yeah.
who seems to have now left.
Oh, she has.
She's left. Okay.
She left when you said, that's what happens. I actually saw, that's what happens when a pig fucks a frog. I noticed it was at that point. I was like, oh, that's
Too
when
close to home, mate, wasn't it? Too close to home.
I always think it's nice to find the line, isn't it?
When I play art centres, sometimes people who come to every single show at the art centre are sitting in the front row having a terrible time. Do you think that'll happen at the Royal Albert Hall? There'll be people in evening dress
Yeah.
expecting...
Because there are boxes that are kind of reserved
Yeah,
for
yeah.
people who own them.
Oh, you mean people who are like, oh, we missed the proms because we were away, but we'll come to
we'll
this.
turn up at this.
Yeah, that would be different, wouldn't it? Yeah, and there's like a name for the people with those
Debentures, I think
Debentures
they're
are the
called.
people with the season
Yeah.
tickets. So yeah, I think there probably are people that come to everything.
I think they literally said you can only play if we can sell all those tickets and not make any of them come to the pornography release. I think they would have all kicked off at the Royal Albert Hall. So yeah. But it's very exciting.
No, it's super.
You should come
exciting.
along.
Oh, well, I'll definitely come along. What's the 21st of June?
It is, yeah.
How do I know that? God, I'm such a fan. How do I remember that? I can't remember my children's names. I didn't even look at my book or anything, or write it down. Well, fantastic. I will come, and because I'm not on tour then, and I'm going to be on holiday for 3 months. So, lovely.
Are you going to sit at the front and shake your head?
It's going to come blue.
I'm going to throw sperm onto the stage, monkey sperm. I'm going to come on as a pornographic postman, and it'll be fun.
What do you wear? Just a normal postman outfit in your image of it?
Yeah.
It's not like a sexy postman outfit.
Oh no, that wouldn't be sexy at all. I find though, I don't really like sex, but the idea of people dressing up, if they dress up in like plasticized clothes, then that's not the real clothes, is it? They have to look like the matron at an old people's home for me to
You've seen
or whatever the person's fantasy would be.
Matron at an old people's home too. You've clearly seen it. Well, a postman wears those shorts anyway, so there's a bit of flesh on show, so you're fine.
That's true.
You're right.
It looks like you've thought about it as well.
Gotta love that calf meat. Yeah.
Calf meat. Gross.
Well, it's very exciting. Thank you so much for coming down, and I hope your podcast goes on to be even more worldwide successful. Spawning books and films. Why have I had these fuckers on? Helping them out. They'll probably fill the Royal Albert Hall now. I've had these 200 people have seen them. Ladies and gentlemen, my dad wrote Porno, James Jimmy. How'd you like them sky potatoes?